What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Pokemon Platinum Nuzlocke Randomizer. Let's just take a minute to appreciate that Acuity Lake theme. I mean, they really made that one a banger. Anyways, let's make our way to Vilestone City. We'll start out today by making our way up Route 215 and fighting the Ruin Maniac Calvin. I've always appreciated the fact that Pokemon has put so much creativity into all of their NPCs, like Ruin Maniac, or Cyclist, or Picnicker, or Gym Leader. Like, everybody has a clearly defined role, which is, you know, simple. Sometimes I wish life was that simple. Who knows? Maybe it can be if you try hard enough. We wound up beating his team pretty easily, got paid, and then we found a tiny mushroom. By the way, if you ever find a wild mushroom in real life, you should probably just leave that alone. We also found TM75 Pin Missile. Then we ran into a random Monferno, but we couldn't catch him since we already caught a Pokemon there. Then we had to fight these two Ace Trainers who almost made us wipe. But check it out. They start off by sending out Noctowl and Dragonair. Dragonair can be pretty scary just because it knows Dragon Rage at this level, which does 40 damage for every attack. Looks like it does know Dragon Rage, but that's not even the craziest part about this fight. Gilkner took out Dragonair with Vice Grip, and then Gilkner died to a random Psybeam. I did not see that coming. And then Ace Trainer Dennis sends out a freaking Groudon. I mean, where did you even find that thing? Groudon used Mud Shot, which I thought was going to take out Manectric, but it didn't, so that's good. Explode used Rollout and took out their Munchlax with one shot, and then Dreamer took out Groudon with Headbutt, and then Ace Trainer Dennis sent out a Machop. That's quite the team you have there, Dennis. Dreamer took it out with an Ember, and apparently we crushed this girl's confidence. We made it to Vilestone City, and immediately went to the Pokemon Center to release our dead Pokemon. Bye, Gilkner. We'll miss you, buddy. After that, we decided to add Lucky to our team. Hi, Lucky. Welcome to the team. Hope we don't wind up like Gilkner. Then we ran into Don, who asked us a big brain question. Yes, Don. Yes, we are. Like, what do you think we're doing here outside of the gym? Just coming to take a picture? This is a Nuzlocke. Our Pokemon just died. We don't have any time for questions like that. Some Hulk Hogan imposter popped up out of nowhere. Don left to sign up for a class on critical thinking. We moved some punching bags with our mind, and then it was time to fight Maylene, the gym leader, who was kind of hard to take seriously because she looks like she's 9 and 50 pounds. She started with the T-pose and then sent out Elekid, making it even harder to take her seriously. But to my surprise, she was a pretty good battler. She started by setting up Light Screen, and although her Elekid didn't win, she almost took us out. I mean, she got a critical hit on Swift and paralyzed us. After that, we swapped in Tesla. She sent out Riolu, and we took it out with the Spark. Sorry, Riolu, you're a cool guy. Our last Pokemon was Dodrio, who also died to Spark. And just like that, we earned ourselves a Cobble Badge. Sorry about your Pokemon, Maylene. Dawn came to visit us from Critical Thinking School, but instead of going to school, she actually got in trouble with some gang members who robbed her. That should be what happens. Stay in school. In order to maintain our street cred, we go square up with the thugs. Neon ain't gonna take that. We go fight the thugs to show them whose turf they're actually on. And then I realized how Dawn got robbed. She has Feebas. Feebas. Now don't get me wrong, I actually like Feebas, and I know it evolves into Milotic and stuff, but I wouldn't keep one around for protection against the gangsters. Look at his splash, you're not doing anything. It's okay, we still love you. Feebas died quick, he wasn't made through the streets. Dreamer wound up taking out the rest of their team. They didn't stand a chance. Not with our street cred. I mean, watch him roast this Tailo. Seriously, no chance. And look at what this guy said after we beat him. All that stinks, our Pokemon are chumps. We should get new ones from headquarters. Like, what is wrong with you, bro? We got back Don's Pokedex. Don got confused again, and the police showed up right after the crime had been committed. What a shocker. Don decided not to squeal to the cops and she left. Then Looker encouraged us to steal valuables from the warehouse. I'm pretty sure that's entrapment. I mean, we still took it, but it didn't feel right. We found a cookie on the ground, and now that I think about it, our character hasn't eaten this entire run. I guess the streets of Vilestone City are pretty tough. We decided to leave Vilestone and make our way to Pastoria City. We accidentally nerfed a Swalot in Route 214, but we did manage to catch up with Fable in the Maniac's Cave. We also got Abra outside of the Valor Lakefront. Then we talked to a couple of sketchy cameramen outside the lake, and finally made it to Pastoria City. We found some leftovers on the ground. They went pretty good with that cookie. Then we caught a Dodrio that we named Dorito. Then we caught a wild Growlithe in the Safari Zone. You could say things were looking pretty good in our Nuzlocke adventure. I mean, what could go wrong now? We've got this in the bag. And in the Trophy Garden, we even caught one of the best 3 starters from the Hoenn region. Welcome to the team, Chop. We ran into Spaz outside of the Pastoria City gym. He started out the battle by sending out Shaman. We sent out Chadley, but it didn't last long due to Chadley's type advantage. After we nerfed the kid Shaman, he swapped in Persian. I should mention that we beefed up Lucky as we were fighting the last Pokemon Shaman. We used a bunch of double teams and sword dances, so this was a pretty clean sweep. He sent out Slowpoke, and then it died. Like I said earlier, things were looking pretty good for the run at this point. He sent out Clefable and yep, you guessed it, died to Slash as well. Thanks, Lucky. Spaz got mad again, but it doesn't matter because we gotta go fight knockoff Hulk Hogan. I mean, look at this guy. You gotta have tons of confidence to go out shirtless, with a mask on, screaming that you're Crasher, what's his name? And I gotta say, my man looks like a 1950s refrigerator. He started the battle by sending out Wigglytuff, who wound up dying to Tesla's bite. Then he sent out Goldeen, a Pokemon that doesn't suit him at all. And then Tesla took it out with a Spark. His final Pokemon was an Electrike, and I just thought it was so funny that his team was Wigglytuff, Goldeen, and Electrike. What a combo. We got the Fin badge from Wake, which I think puts us in the WWE? I'm just kidding, but it does get us one step closer to beating this Nuzlocke, so we'll take it. After we got our badge, we left the gym and ran right into Spaz. Then Wake came out, and someone tried to blow up the Safari Zone? Wake is definitely not a police officer, but he did decide to go check it out, so I guess we'll let him. Wake couldn't stop it from happening, and he got roasted by a gang member. The guy from Team Galactic took off, and Wake didn't even try to stop him. I guess he really got to him. After that, we left Pastoria City, and we chased the Galactic Thug outside of Lake Valor. He didn't really pose a threat, but we did see a familiar face. And then we said goodbye. That's just how Nuzlocke goes sometimes. We beat the Grunt, said hi to Cynthia. Hi, Cynthia. Spaz came out to tell us that the explosion in the marsh wasn't that serious. Like, did you see what just happened? After a long father-to-son-like talk with Spaz about what should be allowed in the world and what shouldn't be allowed in the world, Cynthia gave us drugs for the ducks, and we got the heck out of there. Bye, Valor Lakefront. We fed the ducks, something that I assume is FDA regulated. Got the old charm from Cynthia. Beat some jerk next to the Dialga and Palkia painting. Gave the old charm to Cynthia's grandma. And then it was time to fight Cyrus. That funny hedgehog looking man. He started out with psychological warfare by throwing out a friend from the past. We missed you, buddy. It was especially sad watching him use Wish and then use Follow Me. It's like he was trying to tell us something. Honestly, it was getting a little weird, so we had to put him back down. Bye again, Goku. After that fateful encounter, Cyrus sent out Horsey, and let me just say, that's hilarious. That's all. Bye, Horsey. His last Pokemon was a Mawile, which doesn't exactly scream, I'm gonna take over the whole universe energy. His Mawile knowing Sweet Sin was just icing on the cake. I mean, this is good comedy. Cyrus talked way too much smack to have Horsey and Mawile in this party. I mean, Mawile was his ace. We took it out with X-Scissor, got told our prowess is notable by a guy with a Horsey and a Mawile. Wow, thanks, Cyrus. That feels like a pretty hollow compliment. We got served from Cynthia's grandma. Cynthia told us to go check out the library in Conolave City. But first, we made a quick pit stop in Eterna City, where we wound up catching a Croconaw. We named him Bro, and we had to go. After making it all the way to Conolave City, we had our fight with Spaz. We beat his Venusaur, his Numel, his Mankey, nerfed his Gallade, and his Clefable too, and then we got paid. After that, we made it through OSHA's Nightmare. I mean, there's no way this place passed inspection, but we didn't have time to think about safety. We had to fight Rourke's dad, who may or may not have gotten Rourke the job back in Orberg. He sent out a Spheal, it died. Then he sent out his electric Pokemon, Mareep, which was a pretty odd choice for a Pokemon because, you know, he and Rourke work in the mining business. Tesla took out his Mareep with a bite, and just like that, all of his sturdy Pokemon were defeated. We earned ourselves a Mine badge. He even gave us TM91 assist. Thanks, Byron. Spaz told us to meet him at the library. Bet it's nothing important. But first, we had to meet a man wearing a hat next to a cave. We met up with Spaz, Rowan, and Don in the library, only to find out the world was ending, and our boy Neon didn't even get to collect all 8 gym badges. We turned around to watch some pretty depressing news on the TV. What you've witnessed is actual footage from the scene. It was taken by a cameraman who happened to be there. I knew that guy was sketchy. Professor Rowan told us to go to Lake Valor, you know, where the bombing happened, so we did. I mean, what's the worst that could happen? And man, oh man, I gotta say, they blew this place to smithereens. There's no water. I mean, I guess there's a puddle there, but poor Magikarp. We made our way into the Valor Cavern to fight Commander Saturn. Geez, try saying that 10 times in a row. She started out the fight by sending in her brave little Diglett, but it didn't last long. Sorry, Diggy. Bye, buddy. Her next Pokemon was a Monferno that got one shot to Bro's Surf. Then she sent out an Abra that died to Bro's Crunch. Commander Saturn talked about the rest of the lakes and then disappeared into thin air. So we left and went to Lake Verity. He must have been in some serious trouble if he sent Dawn and her Feebas to take care of Team Galactic. We defeated the Grunts and made our way up to Mars to help the helpless Dawn. Mars told us how she got reprimanded by Hedgehogmen, and the fight began. Mars started the fight by sending out a Haunter, and just for a minute, I thought we'd have to say goodbye to a friend. That was close. Bro must have been pretty mad because after that he one-shot it with Crunch, but nothing could prepare us for our next Pokemon. I mean, what do you expect bringing your goldfish to a fight? After that, she sent out Mankey, who died to Dreamer's Fly, and let me say, Dreamer's no longer a dreamer. That boy can fly. Good job, Dreamer. I knew you could do it. We defeated Mars. Professor Rowan got worried about Spaz, so we decided to go help him out. We flew straight into Mount Coronet, made our way through the mountain and up to the snow, defeated a trainer's Mewtwo, and then we ran into a wild Metagross on Route 217. But unfortunately, I was so focused on catching the wild Metagross that Lucky died. Sorry, Lucky. We'll miss you, buddy. Too bad. I really thought Lucky was gonna make it. And then Metagross got buffeted by the hail and died anyways. Too bad. However, we did catch a Slowking at the Acuity Lakefront. Spaz flexed on us by showing off his rock climb HM. It's not that impressive. Regardless, we booked it to the gym and we turned right back around because we forgot to release Lucky. Bye, Lucky. We'll miss you, buddy. And within a very reasonable amount of time, we made it to Candace, who started the battle by sending in her Cyndaquil. Brittany used Sing, and then Cyndaquil died to a Metronome Thrash, and we almost had to say goodbye to Brittany. Then Candace sent out a Sceptile, and well, need I say more? Sceptile realized he wasn't gonna make it, but he still went out like a G. Dreamer used Fly, and Sceptile had to die. After all, this isn't Nuzlocke, and that's just the way it goes sometimes. See you later, Sceptile. Bye. And after that, Candace sent out Kirlia. We swapped in Bro, who took it out with Crunch. Our last Pokemon was a Gligar that got taken out by Bro's Ice Fang. And just like that, we defeated Candace, got the Icicle badge, and went to Lake Acuity to help a friend in need. Jupiter roasted Spaz by saying, "Your Pokemon aren't bad, but you're laughably weak?" What a terrible thing to say. Then she said, "You honestly thought you could save the Pokemon of the lake and become the champion? Dream on, little kid." Like, why she gotta roast our boy Spaz like that? Outside of having a funky looking haircut and too much energy, he's innocent. Jupiter the jerk told us to not waste any time going to their headquarters in Vilestone City, but I think we will, and we're coming for you, Jupiter. Spaz accepted his defeat. We flew to Vilestone City. Looker led us into the Galactic headquarters. I'm pretty sure he didn't have a warrant. We picked up a loose Galactic key off the floor. I guess somebody just left it there. Then it was time to meet Looker outside of the cult meeting. There's no way that many people got the blue bowl cut by choice. It was time for their esteemed leader and friend to make the stage, Hedgehogman. He went on to monologue about some pretty unimportant stuff, and then he left. Bye, Cyrus. Let me know if you find Jupiter. We went upstairs to talk with the cult leader, and it was time to fulfill our destiny. What could go wrong? After all, the last time we fought him, he had a Horsey and a Mawile. We've got nothing to be scared about, right? I mean, certainly he's not going to hold a grudge because we, made fun of his Pokemon last time, right? Right? His first Pokemon was a Noctowl, and due to the type advantage, Tesla took it out pretty fast. Things were looking pretty good so far, but I had no idea what I was in for. I mean, surely the rest of his team couldn't be that bad. He did have Horsey and Mawile, so maybe it's one of them. Okay, Cyrus ain't playing this time. He's mad that we took out his Horsey, and he wants revenge. And let me just say, it wasn't looking that great for our team. Dialga's Ancient Power is super effective against Dreamer. Not only that, once he landed Ancient Power, all of his stats rose. Attack, defense, speed, special attack, special defense, I mean, all of them rose. I knew Dreamer couldn't take another Ancient Power, so we swapped in Bro. Bro was taking hits for the team. He took a Dragon Claw and an Ancient Power, because that's what Bros do. He was able to get off an Ice Fang, but unfortunately, it didn't do that much. In order to save Bro's life, we swapped in Penny. After a few turns, we finally put it to sleep with Yawn. We tried using Penny's Crunch, but honestly, it didn't really do that much. Dialga woke up and used Dragon Claw, and at this point, I knew we were gonna have to sacrifice some Pokemon if we wanted a chance at winning the fight and beating the run. So I had Penny use Takedown. Penny managed to get off one more Yawn before it died to Dragon Claw. Dreamer's Intimidate cut its attack, and I thought I'd attack it a few times while it was asleep, and my strategy seemed to be paying off. But then Cyrus did something unspeakable. Thanks, Cyrus. We really needed that. Dreamer tried to hit it with Flamethrower again, but honestly, it just didn't do that much. After enduring several attacks, we took Dreamer back in and swapped in Brittany just because we don't want to lose our boy Dreamer. I mean, he's our favorite. Brittany took too much damage, so we swapped in Chop. Dialga used Roar of Time, and Chop was not doing fine. Goodbye, Chop. We'll miss you, buddy. Things were not looking good at this point. I sent out Brittany as a sacrifice to try and save Dreamer, and after a tremendous effort, Brittany wound up dying to Penny's Sandstorm that she set up before she died. Not really knowing what to do, we sent in Tesla in hopes of something amazing happening. But to no avail, Dialga woke up and used Roar of Time. Bye, Tesla. We'll really miss you, buddy. Your sacrifice will not be forgotten. After losing Tesla, we sent out Bro to hopefully wrap up this fight. Bro got off a couple of attacks, but ultimately died to Dialga's Dragon Claw. And just like that, Bro had to go. Bye, Bro. We'll miss you, buddy. Dialga, you monster! Well, guys, let's face it, the battle's not looking so hot, and Dialga knows Ancient Power, which is super effective against Dreamer, but we're still gonna give it our best. After all, we owe it to our golden boy Dreamer. Sorry, buddy. Dialga used Roar of Time, and I think it was time to say goodbye. Bye, Dreamer.